Hi, so welcome to today's session. This is Mastering UiPath IXP from Fundamentals to DU Framework Integration. This is the first of two parts of the series. And I'm Diana Gray. I'm the Community Marketing Manager for UiPath. And if you want to go to the next slide. Yeah, so Vishal and Akhil, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Definitely. So, hi everyone, this is Akhil here, and I am senior software engineer, and as well as I'm RPA discovery expert at Cubotica, and I live in Detroit, Michigan, and I am one-time UiPath MVP 2025. So, I would like you to connect anytime with me on LinkedIn or anywhere. So, I'll share my LinkedIn profile in the chat after some time. But yeah, I would like to if anyone is around this area near to Detroit or anywhere, definitely would like to meet you guys then. Okay, Vishal.
Vishal, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, myself Vishal Rajmane. I am from Cubotica, working as a lead software engineer. So I have expertise mostly in IXP, DU, document processing. So let's get started. Akhil, over to you.
Okay. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, so if you see the agenda today, it's mainly about introduction to IXP. So you will get an basic understanding about what UiPath IXP is and what are the core capabilities, like how we are going to do a data extraction and processing communication and all that. So you will understand in the first part. Second thing is key stages in IXP. Like there are 3 stages of the building model. We'll discuss more about that in the second part. Then third thing is about UiPath IXP demonstration, where we are going to discuss more about like how we are going to work with structured and unstructured, semi-structured and unstructured document and high complexity document as well. We try our best to show a demonstration about all these things. So Vishal will go through on all those things. Then last one is the prompting best practices. So whenever we are extracting a document, what are the best practices for the prompt and how you should design your taxonomy for the unstructured and complex document. So we'll discuss everything in detail in the fourth part. So I'll hand it over to Vishal to continue with this session, and I'll be working on chat. If you guys have any question, go ahead and put it in the chat, or Vishal will answer at the end of the session. So the structure would be going through all these things, and following that, we have another session next week. So we'll continue with that. And at the end of this session, we'll be having one quiz as well. So please make sure that you are joining that and making sure that you're getting best out of it. Handing it over to Vishal.
Thanks, Akhil. Yeah, let's get started. So UiPath Intelligent Xtraction Processing is basically a new capability. Yeah, UiPath bring it to together with the existing capabilities like combination mining, document understanding, along with this new capability, generative extraction for unstructured and complex documents. With the existing capabilities, we have combination mining for to extract mainly processing the emails, tickets, messages, and we have seen document understanding earlier, where we usually process the documents, structured, semi-structured, etc. But now with this new capability, what we get is we can build a rapid prototype of model only with prompt. As per usually we train the model and iterate it again and again. That's we can avoid. Like this generative extraction is specifically trained on the free flow documents, highly complex documents, table, etc. So all we need to write is just prompt. So in this session, we mostly gonna cover the generative extraction for unstructured and complex documents, where we basically have 3 stages: build, measure, publish. We can go over it as well later on in the demo. Let's go through the UI directly. So build. So in the build, Here we can see all the uploaded documents where you can define the taxonomy and you can validate the extraction result. Then we have measure. Inside the measure, we can see all the trained models result. Like we can assess the model, how it's performing. And then we have published. We can publish our model and you can roll back it. If there is something goes wrong, we have that option as well. Okay. So inside build, intelligent extraction capability, intelligent extraction processing will give us the this option to define the taxonomy. We can define the fields, relation between the fields, everything over here. We can write the prompts and for the each field group, we can use the predefined data types. And if you have any requirement, other requirement, you can create the custom data type as well. So here if you can see, I have grouped this taxonomy as per the functionality. Suppose in your document, you have multiple sections. So we can group it together like this. And inside that group, we can add those respective fields over here. And all we need to do is just write down the prompt for each field. And for most of the cases, we have the predefined data types. And even if there is any such requirement where you want to create custom recording, custom data types, you can create that as well from here. Okay. Then we have validate section. Once we define all our field types and relation between them, all the fields, grouping is done. We can now label our documents. We don't really need to label everything. Once we define our prompts properly, it will automatically start the extracting all the data. And usually with a traditional DU, we need to add fields based on the structure. But with intelligent extraction processing, we add the fields based on the contextual value. Even if you have different variation of the document, different format structure, all you need to define is the contextual meaning of the field or field groups. So it will consider all variation of the documents. Once we are done with all the prompting and all, it will automatically extract the field values, and also it will give us the reference from exactly where that value is coming from. So it will be easier for us to validate. If we want, we can see this in a table format as well. So we can validate it easily. And during validation, if you observe that anything is wrong and you want to modify the prompts, we can modify the prompt from here as well. From here, we can modify our prompt instruction. And whenever we update any prompt or do any changes, it will automatically create a new version of that model in the backend. And once validation is done, in the measure, we can compare all the different versions of the model. We can also see the pre-built dashboard over here for all the field groups and fields. So basically, it mainly gives us the precision and recall and F1 score. So if we see, we have different result over here. Let me go back to build first. So here we can see one project score. So this is basically the combined F1 score of all the documents. Whenever we do the annotation in the backend, it will validate the result with model extraction and compare and give us the harmonic mean of the precision and recall. We have model configuration as well over here. We can go through it. In the model configuration, we have different options. Like we can select the model type. Like if you have a normal document with not much complex few tables, we can select the table model mini. If you have multiple tables or nested tables, we can select the table model. It will give us the better result because it's optimized for that with that type of training data. Then in the advanced option, we can see temperature, top P, seed, and frequency penalty. If you are from data science background or if you are familiar with this advanced setting, you can play with it. Like we have temperature over here. So what temperature defines is basically controls the randomness of the output. Like LLM models are trained with a large number of data. So here if we define higher temperature, which means the model is more likely choose the less probable words. Like what does it mean? If we increase the temperature, while giving the output, model will give the less probable words. Like if you are working with if you want the output as creative as possible or different, sometimes not usual, it will give us the result that way. Like whatever the least probable words are, it will articulate the output that way. And if you want the output to be more safe, predictable, and like most probable words, so we can give us the low temperature. Similarly, there is a top P. Top P is also one of the controls for the randomness only. But difference between temperature and top P is in top P, instead of picking it all possible words, it will pick up the words only from the probability distribution, like only pure set of words. Like here we can decide the top value. We can either increase it or decrease it. As it's also matter of the randomness, if we increase the value, it will give us the wide range of probable words. So which in turn give us the diverse or creative output. And if we want the precise and more focused result, we can reduce the top P value. Then third, we have seed. Seed allows us to replicate a specific result. Like usually you must have observed while working with any LLM like any GPT or Copilot. If we ask the same question, we may not get the same response every time. So it may vary. But during document extraction, or if we are building some solution and we want to test and debug it, what we can do, we can put the seed value at 0 and same for the top P and temperature. So it will basically give us a starting point for this random number generator. So it will streamline all those three parameters, and even if we ask the same input, it will give us the same result every time. Frequency penalty. Sometimes we may have observed that in the response, lot of words gets repeated. And with frequency penalty, if we increase its value, it will penalize the model. So if with the high frequency penalty, it will give us the less repetitive output, and we can avoid the monotony with the high frequency. And if we give the low frequency penalty, then we may get repeated words as well. This we can use in such use cases where we are writing code and everything. So this is just concept. based on your requirement, you can modify those values. So temperature and top P decides the randomness, how random you want the output. Like if you want a creative answer, or if you want safe with limited number of words, we go with the lower temperature and lower top P. And if you want to avoid repetitive words, we can give the high frequency penalty. And if you want, if you're okay with the repetitive words, we can give the lower frequency penalty. And seed we mainly use whenever we want to control the output, like during mostly testing and debugging. If you want the same result every time, we can give the seed 0 and same value for the top and temperature. Okay, it will give us basically starting random point for all those parameters. Okay, and whatever prompts we are writing over here, so in the taxonomy, we can define all the prompts, right? So here we have different section. While creating the field, we usually create it as a group. That's usually recommend because it will give us the more accuracy. We can define it section wise. Like this, in this section, we have all the fields related to this section. Similarly, we have other sections as well. So this page tab is mainly from the finance it is a finance document like payslip and all. We can go through the document first. That will be easier to understand for you. So this is the place payslip. We have a different section over here, like summary. Here we have earnings, deduction, etc. Right? So how we have grouped the fields over here is based on the section, and we can write the prompts for each section and also for each fields. We have some predefined field types like Boolean date. One good thing about intelligent extraction processing is that we can infer the text as well. Whatever value we are extracting, it doesn't have to be in the document. Based on the content in the document, it will infer the some value and give us the result. That will also work. And even if you want to, if you have any requirement where you want to extract any custom value, you can define it here with a new field type. We can create the new field as well. Yeah, here we can verify everything, and for all the documents we can confirm it if whatever extraction we have is correct or not. Like because of all these fields, it may look like a little bit confusing for you. Then you can select the table over here. So same field we can see in the table view, or it will be easier for us to validate. Similarly, you can annotate all the documents and we can measure the performance over here, like whatever the model is giving the result, we can assess it in the measure tab. And here you can see the project score. As I told earlier, it will basically give the overall result. Like for all the fields and all the section, it gives us the harmonic mean for the precision and recall. What's precision and recall? We can discuss that as well. So when we go to the measure, we can see here we have pre-built table. So it will give us the precision as well as recall. So for all the fields, we can see this. So what does precision mean? So whenever we extract the fields, if we say the precision is 95%, which basically means out of 100 fields, 95 fields are extracted accurately by the model. And for the recall, if suppose recall is 80%, which means out of the 100 accurate fields, bot has only extracted 80. Right? So precision is giving us the accuracy, and recall is giving us the completeness. Like suppose you have a document. In that document, there may be, you have 5 documents which bot supposed to extract. But out of those 5 or 10, bot has only extracted few of the fields, our recall decrease. And in case of precision, whatever value is so, and basically F1 score represents the mean of the precision and recall. From here, we can compare the different models as well. We can compare and check the performance between them. Every time we do any changes in the prompt, a new version gets created. And we can compare it from here, and we can see this field level as well as group level as well. So before deployment, we can go through measure to make sure everything is giving the like all for all the fields we are getting the good result. Then in the publish, we can publish the model. Like while publishing, we have this option to select the deployment. So usual recommendation is whenever we build any model, we don't need to move it to the different environment to environment. Usually we have separate environment for development, staging, or production. We don't need to move the model. Once we deploy the model, initially we can add the tag as staging and publish it, and later on we can change the tag to the production as well. Once we are sure that we are getting the proper result, we have tested everything from the code, we can mark the tag as the production or live. One more benefit of it, usually if each version has different number, we need to enter the version number inside the code. So every time we publish the code, and if we have upgraded the model version, we will have to again modify the code. So with this tagging, we can avoid that. So in the code, all we need to just add the tag live or staging, and whatever the model version is tagged as staging or live, we can use it inside that code. Okay. So we will also see the best practices for the prompt. So let's the prompting best practices. So these are the general best practices. And later on we will see the section wise as well. So while writing the prompt, use clear, direct, and unambiguous language. Like avoid overcomplicating instructions that could may confuse the model. Use plain, simple language, and keep the sentences short. We don't need to write lengthy prompt every time. Even if you write, we will get a good result. Maintain consistent terminology across the fields or field groups and instruction to avoid the confusion. Next, initially, as refining prompts, we write the simple prompt first, and then we check the result, like how it's performing, and then we can again fine tune the prompt. So we can iterate over it multiple times to get the better result. And do not use negative language or repetitive instruction. Like don't say don't leave out any section of the document. Instead, we can replace the same instruction as ensure all key sections like maybe XYZ from the document are covered. Like even instead of using negative language, we can convey the same with the positive instructions, and mostly avoid the repetitive language. It will lead to redundancy, confusion to the model. And whenever feasible, use the examples, like correct example as a inside the prompt. So it will guide the model to give us the expected result based on the whatever example we have provided. Next, we will see the section-wise prompting best practices. On project level, instruction should be establish clear context and expectation for extraction. So we can start by defining the industry and document type. So it will help us the model to understand the scope of the task, and it will describe the key characteristics and layout of the document. Like as per traditional view, we don't need to be dependent on the structure. So all the fields and field groups are based on the contextual value. If any document contains the multiple instances of the same data, like mainly in the table, or in some cases where fields are repeated, then in that case use the unique identifier. Like here we can see suppose in your case, if you have multiple document types, we can define those instructions over here on the project level, like using prompt we are extracting from different types of documents. So here we can define those instructions over here. And if we talk about the group level instruction, when you are creating the group similar data points into logical groups. So it will enhance the accuracy and give you the less errors. And whenever possible, indicate where the data is typically located, like such as table or header or its body. And treat each field group as a table. So basically in the IXP, everything is in the format of table. So whenever we define the group, it will, the packet model, you will treat it as a table, and all the fields will be considered as a column. And use the field groups to, if we want to define a relationship between the different fields, we can use the redundant symbol like this. Like whenever we want to define the relationship between different fields, we can use this symbol. Here you can see I have, this is the parent field, and then we have this child field. So we can use this symbol to define the relationship between the fields while grouping the fields. And for files that contains multiple documents, like in the same document, if we have multiple different documents, we can define and uniquely identify each one by giving a unique identifier. Like if we have invoice, we may get line items. or even if it's not the structured document, if it's unstructured, but we want to extract the same data pattern where fields are repeated, and we want to extract all the fields and subfields. So in that group, we can define one unique identifier. So what intelligent extraction will do is in the backend, it will group all those unique fields into one group and extract it in as a one row. If there are multiple occurrences, we'll get the multiple rows over there. Field level best practices. So I'll adding the prompt for the field, select while defining the field, usually select clear and intuitive field name. Like that, use the similar language as documents to reduce the ambiguity during extraction. And be explicit about the what model should extract. Like what is the requirement? If you have any formatting instruction, you can add it over there. And avoid combining multiple requirements into single extraction. Wherever possible, break it down into multiple fields. That will give us the better result. And whenever possible, include examples inside the prompt. So that way we can increase the accuracy of the model. If we see the field type level prompting best practices, choosing the correct field types is very important, because field type determines how the extracted data is formatted and normalized, so that it should be selected based on the downstream automation requirements. In the IXP, we have many predefined data types, and use those predefined field types for generic fields like string, integer, or monetary quantities that does not require any unique formatting, and that can be applied to the multiple fields. If you require any unique field or formatting, we can create a custom field type. In such cases, clearly specify the desired data structure and format. Like custom field types will be required for certain inferred fields, such as if there is any choice set, you can define that as a field type as well. So model will extract value out of those only. Okay. So I think so that's it. Do we have any questions?
So Vishal, we have a couple of questions. Maybe if you can answer that. First one is there any human in loop section where extracted data can be verified by the business users?
Yes. So with the intelligent document processing, first we are creating the model at start. Once we are done with all the model, we publish it, and later on we can consume it inside the studio using API, or we can use the activities as well. So we can handle that over there. We can use the action center to follow the human in the loop.
Yeah, please feel free to like unmute yourself if you still have a question. I think it's from Ankit. And I think same question. So another question from Ankit is, other than GPT-4, what all Gen AI models are being supported?
Currently, we have only that option. So we don't have control over it to change it for now. So in the future upgrade, it will maybe get upgraded to the latest version automatically.
Right. And if it's in the roadmap and if they publish something new, then we might will definitely get update under IXP section on the documentation. So you can check that over there in the upcoming new releases. And another question is, can you open one document and show how to set field group hierarchy? I think in that yeah,
Right.
manage.
Try one. So whenever we are defining the hierarchy, we like at the parent field name space, and we can use this symbol for the child. You can write the instruction for the group and add it. So it will automatically create the parent as well as child. And you can add your fields over here one by one.
I think that it might correctly answer. I think Akash, I think if you have any question, let us know. And next one is, could you please go through how taxonomy is being created from scratch? You recommended to group fields, but how do you create those group? Which logic do you follow?
Oh. So at the start, whenever you get any new requirement, we decide the taxonomy. So whatever fields we want to extract, and based on the document structure, like if you have different formats. So here in this example, we can see we have this description section, we have this earnings, and we have like this different section. And so usually in DU, what we do, we define all the fields one after other, like in the regular fields. But here what I can do, I can create a group for all these fields. Like I want to extract the gross earning, imputed earning, everything, whole this table. So what I will do, I will create one group with all those fields. So this is my parent field and this will be all my child fields. So it will be easier for the model to extract this as a group than extracting everything individually. So now because we have relationship between them, this is the section and inside this section, we need to extract. So it will be easier for the model to extract the value.
So it's totally depends on what exactly the requirement is, and based on the document that what exactly you want to extract. Based on that, you have to create groups, create parents and child, as Vishal mentioned, and based on that, you need to select the field type and all those things in that taxonomy area. So that's generally we follow. But yeah, feel free to let us know if you still need any more information. I'll go to the next one, Vishal. Can you provide an example of assigning unique identifier for multiple documents?
Yeah, I will give one example. So there was one use case I've seen on the forum. So they used to get some kind of receipt on the same page. Sometimes they get two copies of receipt, but usually we can't split the same page into half, right? So, but now we want to extract the both data from the both the receipt. So each receipt must be having different unique identifier and few set of fields. So while defining the fields, what I will do, I will create define one section group and inside it field group. I will define all other fields. Look like so. What will happen if even in the same document, same page, we have two copies? Intelligent extraction will capture both. Like at the end, it's give result in the table format. So one receipt will be in the one table row. Second will be in the second row. So here it will be easier for the model, like all the fields, like maybe we have total amount or anything, GST, CST, whatever it will group those fields and map it to that particular unique identifier, add it in the single row. Same for the second receipt. It will give us the second row for the second receipt. So if you have any such use cases, you can define the unique identifier and it will find all those patterns and group those and give us the result.
I hope, Eric, is that clear? Okay, so let me move to the next one. Before we go to the next one, Vishal, do you have anything to cover so that we can answer all this important that want to cover?
I think we have covered most of the points.
Yeah, perfect.
So I think we are good.
So,
Yeah.
how about the values that are not present anywhere in a document but are implied from its context?
Yes. So in a normal conversation with the any GPT, we ask some question, and based on the our question, it will give us the result. And in the traditional view, what we do, we train the model based on whatever data is there inside the document. So there is earlier there was no option to whatever result we are capturing, take decision based on that. But now here we are writing the prompts. So we can write our prompt in such a way, we ask the model to extract this data, and based on the result, give us the inferred result. Like you can ask, like I will give a simple example, extract this value in the output, I give me the addition of them. This is the simple example. Similarly, if you have any such use case, it will you can write the prompt that way, and you will get the result automatically from the model. I think someone raised their hand. Okay.
Yeah, you can take yourself off mute too if you want to ask the question that way.
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Daira. This is Ankit. Hi, Vishal. Good evening.
Thank you.
I had one doubt. So earlier in the traditional document understanding where we need to deploy the models, right? I mean, we need to train them, run the pipeline, and then that model will be available for us to use, right?
Right.
So here in this case, we are not actually, deploying any model, but directly we are using the IXP, right? I mean, by just defining the ontologies and building, measuring, and then publishing, so that this can be utilized across any project, right? Is that the major difference, what we are understanding?
Right. So here we don't need to label everything, train the model, do everything. All we need to do is just write the prompt, check the accuracy, and publish. That's it. So it will be
Okay.
one shot solution. Yeah.
Okay. And earlier we used to deploy the models like it's a form based, it's a PO based, it's the different types of forms which are available in the US domain, right? So we used to do that.
Right.
So no, not that sort of things. Just need to write the prompts and then we are good to go, right?
Right. Like here, when we
One
define the taxonomy, we're
Yeah,
not
one last
defining the,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. You go ahead. Sorry.
So when we define the taxonomy, we define it based on the contextual meaning, not based on the formatting. So whatever different formats you have, it will consider all those.
Okay, got it. And one last question, since we are being using GPT-4o, consider a scenario wherein I am trying to deploy this IXP in any financial institute or any institute which has very restrictions to the documents. Uh, how securely this can be used? How can I pitch it to my clients?
Oh, that's good question. For security and all, I think you can connect with the account manager or someone from the UiPath. So I think that would be a better person to answer those. Someone
Yeah,
related to that field. Yeah.
maybe I can check that, Ankit, for you. So how we can do it, and I'll connect you with offline, and I'll help you for that thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ankit.
Uh, like if anyone wants to go ahead, directly unmute yourself and go ahead. By the time I just read a couple of questions. So how many samples documents we need to use for the training?
As I told already, we are not training the model. We are adding documents just to assess the result. Like whatever prompts you are writing, those may be not covering all the possible scenarios. So when we upload the document and write the prompts, we can validate the result here only before the deployment. And one the good thing I observe is in the design time, wherever you do the fine tuning and assess the model score, it will not cost you any AI units or platform units. So for design time, it's free. So when you publish the project and use it your actual code, then only it will start consuming the AI units. Yeah.
Perfect. And one last is, how do you manage documents like contracts of more than 150 pages? Is easy to extract fields like contract date, people that sign the contract, IDs of the people that sign, and other contract specific fields. So, and he mentioned one of the example in a lawyer company, contracts are different one from another, how IXP could handle them.
Right. Actually, this generative extraction is mostly trained for such scenarios only. Whenever your input document is without any format, highly unstructured or different tables, it will work better on such documents. Just based on the requirement, just choose this type.
Correct. And as Vishal mentioned, right, Miguel, it's more of like prompt based, not like a formatting based. Even if you have multiple different kind of a formats, like how you are like giving your prompts correctly and with the best practices you mentioned, it's based on that it will give you the better result. I can one more is, so can we enable Gen AI and extract the values?
Like, what do you mean by enable Gen AI?
So Parvati, like if you don't mind, if you want to give more context on that, what exactly your question was. So
Hi. Usually the Gen AI, when we're not able to extract the fields or the field names might be different. So when we enable the Gen AI, if you see in the document understanding, we enable the Gen AI, right? And the field names can be extracted. So in the same way for the IXP, it is possible. Is there anything like that?
Are you talking about generative validation, like auto validation, or there is one more option we have activity called generative extractor where we can write the prompts then and there? Oh,
Yes.
which one is it?
So the prompt is one thing, and also for the fields.
Right. In the DU, we have option for the auto validation. We call it generative
Yes.
validation.
Yes.
Right. That basically help us to boost the confidence. So sometimes whatever extraction we have using this deployed solution, data extracted may be accurate, but confidence score for some reason may be low. In that case, what that feature does is it will compare this result with the Gen AI result, and if the both results are matching, it will boost the confidence because now we have verified the result.
Okay.
That will help us the improve the STP, state process, so that there will be less human validation.
Okay.
You can use that as well, along with this, yeah.
okay. I think we pretty much covered everything. So we have one quiz that we designed it for you. So maybe I'll just share that, and if time permits, definitely we'll answer more question. And I'll share my email ID as well as Vishal's email ID so that you guys can reach out to us on LinkedIn or on email as well. Maybe I can take one last. How are AI units consumed when using this method?
Yeah, AI needs consumption, how to use this model inside Studio, that we will cover in our next session, like whatever model we are building over here. So I will explain everything in detail, how we will consume it in Studio, what are the best practices over there, and what will be consumption. Like even if you use the different classification method, even if you use the multiple extraction methods, we'll cover everything in the next session. So you can join next time as.
Yeah, so Charlie, just make sure you are joining the next session to get more understanding on that. And the next one is it possible to upload 4 different type of documents like warranty date, tax, deed of the trust, etc., and have IXP compare the legal description of the property for any mismatches or error across the 4 documents?
No, because basically this is the intelligent document processing where we extract the data from the document. So if you have any other use case, like you want to compare the result from the different documents, you can go with our AI agents. You can build your agent and it will give us the whatever comparison you want. And we can integrate this IXP solution along with the agentic AI. So that will be a good use case for you.
Exactly. So if anyone wants to ask any question, please go ahead.
Hi, Akhil. This is Sarah.
Yeah.
I
Please
have
go.
a use case where we have multiple documents, I would say instructions. It has at least 500 pages of PDF files. So would this be the correct approach using IXP where we can have an interactive tool? Once I feed the PDF, user will enter questions based on like whatever the requirement they're asking for. It should pull the details from that document. So would using IXP be the correct approach?
In such cases, I think IXP is not designed for such cases like where we interact with the model to give us the result. But if you have specific set of questions which you want to investigate through document, you can build this IXP solution.
Okay.
But if you have different set of questions every time based on the document, and if you have follow-up question, then this use case is not for such scenarios.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that clears. And let me share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Now I can.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So if you can scan a barcode, it's a quiz that so as soon as you scan the barcode, you will be like joining this quiz and we'll go through a couple of questions. So you guys can answer that and yeah, perfect. I can see a couple of people joining. Let's wait for more people to join. It's just a quick knowledge check and you will see uh, the questions are a bit tricky. So you will just make sure that you are joining. Okay. Okay, let me just go ahead and start it. So it will just present you a question on screen and you just need to answer that in 15 seconds. So like after every question, it will just show you the leaderboard. So let me start the quiz. So be ready. So which of the following document type is the best suited for the generative extraction? Go through the options. Perfect. So it's long form legal contract with the varied clause and the free form for text. 6 of you answered it correctly. Okay, let's go to the next one. So Michael, Akash, and Dragonite, these three people are very fast and correct. Perfect. Let's move to the next one. Okay, all of you are ready. In the context of generative extraction, what is the most important practice for improving data accuracy? Amazing. I can see most of the people answered it correctly. Provide clear and precise instruction via prompt engineering. Perfect. You can see. Okay. Next one. How does human validation play a role in the generative extraction process? Okay, looks good. It's a bit tricky. So if you can see, review low confidence extraction and give feedback to improve models. Okay, I can see Akash is leading. Perfect. Let's go ahead. Which of the following is a key benefit of using generative extraction for complex documents? Okay, correct. Need less setup and training than a traditional level models. As we discussed, like it is based on the prompts and all that, so it doesn't need any separate traditional training methods. Okay, great. Okay, Eric is leading now. Perfect. All of you are ready. Let's. When defining an extraction field in UiPath IXP, which of the following practices is recommended for generative extraction? That's correct. So giving a clear name and add context with the description. So it's from our slide where we discuss about the best practices for the prompt engineering. So definitely who missed it, so you guys can go back and check it again after we share the PPT. Looks good. Eric is leading again.
Yeah.
In the context of evaluating a generative extraction model's performance, what does the F1 score represents? It's from the major tab. Okay, we got a quite a different response this time. The like harmonic mean of the precision and recall balancing the both matrix. So if you have seen the like major tab over there, it's like it was representing the precision and recall from that section. Okay, and see Michael is again, I think, back. Okay, perfect. Let's see.
Yeah, Michael is on top again. Yeah.
Okay, 3 more questions. I think we're out of time, but yeah, let's Continue. What should you create a custom field? When should you create a custom field type instead of using predefined ones? Amazing. Only for inferred fields or a unique formatting requirements? See Michael, Eric, and Pratiksha leading the board. Did I miss any question? Okay. What is the primary benefit of using a seed number in LLM configuration for a generative extraction? So this is from the field where we discuss about penalties and seeds and temperature. Perfect. Enabling replicating specific result for debugging and the testing is the correct answer. Amazing. I can see Eric is back on top. Okay, last question. Be ready and be quick. When extracting a single value from a long, complex paragraph, which configuration ensures the most precise and the focused extraction? That's correct, using a low temperature and a low top P. So if you are confused with any of these features, what exactly it means, you're always, you can always go back to IXP and check the information over there. It's next to that particular fields. I can see many of you answered it correctly. I think, Eric, you are the clear winner. Michael and the good. So that's great. Congratulations, Eric.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, if you want to put your email in the chat, I'll be happy to send you a voucher from UiPath. Thank you.
That's great. And if you missed it, Eric, you can always reach out to us via LinkedIn, or you can just post your email as Diana mentioned in the chat. We can quickly do this. Okay, I think we are out of time, but yeah, most of the things we tried our best to cover. And as Vishal mentioned, following we have another session to cover about this AI units and remaining things. So we'll like in the same community session, you can see the link for the another session. Diana, did we send the? I think yeah, Diana already shared a link for the next session, so you guys can go ahead and register for the next session if you are not registered for that. And we'll see you in the next session then.
Yeah, thank you, Akhil and Vishal, for putting on this session. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And Eric, I'm still waiting for your email to show up in chat. And with that, we will end our recording for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.